Have you ever noticed how your phone seems to know you a little too well? You search for a pair of shoes, and suddenly every website shows you ads for the exact same brand. Or maybe you just bought tickets to Disneyland. A few minutes later, while watching Instagram stories, and you suddenly see ads for Disney hotels, park tips, or travel package. It almost feels like your phone is reading your mind. But it's not magic, it's algorithm. While algorithms can be incredibly powerful, they aren't always as neutral as we might think. Today we are talking about algorithmic bias and why the systems that recommend things to us can sometimes reflect hidden bias in the data they learn from. First, let's start with a simple question. What is an algorithm? In simple terms, an algorithm is a set of instructions that helps computer make decisions or predictions based on data. Algorithms power many things we use every day, including search engines, social media feeds, online shopping recommendations, job application screening systems, and even tools used in medicine. In theory, algorithms should be objective. After all, they rely on numbers, statistics, and data. But here's the catch. Algorithms don't invent knowledge on their own. They learn patterns from historical data. And that data often reflects the inequalities and biases that already exist in society. For example, researchers studying hiring algorithms discovered something surprising. A machine learning system designed to screen job applicants began consistently ranking male candidates higher than female candidates. Why did this happen? Because the systems had been trained on historical hiring data from the company. And historically, that company had hired far more men than women. The algorithm didn't intentionally discriminate. It simply learned the patterns that already existed in the data. In other words, the algorithm has replicating human bias hidden inside the dataset. And this problem doesn't just appear in hiring. Algorithmic bias has been found in several important areas, including facial recognition technology, predictive policing systems, loan approval algorithms, and healthcare risk assessments. In one well-known study, researchers found that the facial recognition systems were significantly less accurate when identifying people with darker skin tones. Why? Because the training dataset contained far more images for lighter skinned faces. When some groups are underrepresented in the data, the systems become less accurate for those groups. This highlights important lessons in data science. Data is not neutral. If data we use to contain algorithms contains bias or gaps, those problems can show up in the system's predictions as well. So, what can we do about it? Researchers and engineers are working on several solutions. One approach is algorithms auditing, where experts carefully test models to identify unfair outcomes. Another approach is improving data diversity, making sure training datasets represent many different groups. And some researchers are developing transparent algorithms that allow people to understand how decisions are made. But perhaps the most important step is awareness. Algorithms shape many decisions in modern society, from the ads we see to the opportunities we receive. Understanding how these systems work help us build technology that is not only powerful but also fair. So next time you open Instagram and see an ad for something you just searched, remember, behind our recommendation isn't magic, it's math, it's data, and sometimes it's bias. Thanks for listening.